is actually boring.
Okay, so I got my notes open. And right at the top, I'm going to write this here where it's comparing fractions. And so that's the part that we're going to be working with now is comparing fractions. I'll talk about the rest of the stuff as we go through. Okay. So comparing fractions, that's my title of my spot. And then I wrote, this stands for greater than, less than, equal to. Okay, greater than, less than, or equal to, because those are the symbols that we're going to use when we compare fractions. Okay. Maybe some of you remember the alligator, right?
Yes.
Alligator. I don't know how to draw an alligator, but okay. So the alligator's always hungry, right? So he's always going to, or she, are going to eat the bigger one because they're pigs and they want more, right? Not really pigs, I guess, because they're alligators, but whatever. Make fun of my drawing. I'm not a very good drawer.
Yeah, Bevan, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Why do you guys call him Bevan?
Paul Devin. No, he's got a different.
Paul Devin. All right, and we're back. So we're going to write this down, and this will make sense after I show you what it means. But you're going to start from the bottom and then multiply diagonally up. So write that part down. Start from the bottom and multiply diagonally up. And then I'm looking for two fractions, and I don't want them to be normal, but I don't want them to be so extravagant that it's like, what? So I'm just looking for two fractions that aren't like normal, but they have to be like fraction form, right? Numerator smaller than the denominator, regular fraction, not an improper fraction. That's improper.
I'm at
15 16.
All right, so I've got 15 16ths. And what did you say, Brody? 5 13ths. Now, a lot of us, we could look at this and go, I already know which one's bigger. How many of you already know which one's bigger before doing anything? Okay, so yes, we would all agree that 15 16ths is bigger, right?
Yeah.
Because there's 15 out of 16 pieces, which is more than 5 out of 13 pieces, right? Okay, so we know that that 5 13ths would be less than 15 16ths. But if I'm one that didn't know that and I wasn't sure, here's my strategy. I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to multiply up diagonally. So this is where my multiplication chart comes in handy. What is 13 times 15?
1 second, please. Okay. 195.
I hear 195. Does anybody disagree with that? Okay, 195. So 13 times 15 is 195. Now I'm going to start at the bottom and multiply up diagonally. What's 16 times 5?
80.
80?
Yep.
Okay, so I wrote the little numbers up here, right? And so what happens is 80 is less than 195. So that if I wasn't sure that 5/16, now I would be sure, and I would put that up there. So that's my little cheat, my little trick that I can do that. How does that work? Well, I'd have to find a common denominator between 13 and 16 to make that. What would that be? Well, 13 is prime, so that means I'd multiply. What's 13 times 16?
I don't know.
Oh, that's why I'm relying on somebody with a multiplication table to help me.
What is it?
13 times 16.
208.
208. So the common denominator between both of these fractions, I'd make them equal fractions, right? So I had to multiply 13 times 16. 5 times 16 is 80. 16 times 13 to get 208, 15 times 13, which was 195. And then I can compare the two fractions, right? Well, obviously this one is smaller than this one. And so I'd use the open end to the alligator that wants to eat the bigger one. Okay, that makes sense? Okay, somebody give me something that's where the numbers aren't so like, where it might be challenging to figure it out. Brody.
We'll do 14, 17.
14 17ths. And just for fun, let's go
70.
7 ninths. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're not really sure. Right. Some of us might know. Oh, I know it, but I'm going to bet a lot of us don't know. So here's what we do. We start at the bottom and we multiply diagonally. So 17 times 7 is
63.
can't be 63. 7 times 7 is 49.
Oh, I did
What?
the other one.
119.
119. 9 times 14. That can't be 63 either.
No, I was doing 9 times 7.
26.
126. All right, which number is bigger, 126 or 119?
That one.
Boom. So 14 17ths is greater than 7 ninths. Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Just kind of our cheat, an easy way. Instead of trying to find a common denominator between the two, making equivalent fractions and go, boom, we can do this quicker. Okay. Now, here's something we're going to practice some. Here's something that we're also going to see. They're not as, to be honest, they're a lot easier than what we've been doing here. Okay, but I might have 3/5, and there'll be a little circle. That little circle is for you to put your symbol in, boom, or whatever you got. Okay, and let's go 70%. What? Oh, wait, no. You know how to do this. I got to change that to a fraction. What is 70% as a fraction?
7 tenths.
That's 70 over 100, and everybody else went 7 tenths. Okay, so I can do 7 tenths. Well, 5 times 7 is 35. 10 times 3 is 30. That means 70% is greater than 3/5. So they're just adding a little something in there for you. Convert that percent to a fraction. Okay. Now, one other thing that we might have is let's go. What's that? 5/8, and maybe we got that circle and 0.625. Okay, well, what do I got to do to this?
Convert it into a fraction.
Convert it into a fraction. Well, what is this? 625,000. So 620, 52. 25 over 1,000. I could reduce it. I'd end up getting that. So what do we know?
It's equal.
They're equal, so I would put my equal sign in. So you won't have one this hard. You won't have anything this hard. Okay? So if you get a decimal, you've got to convert it to a fraction too. Okay? Nothing new there. Now the bottom, so I'm going to give you a sheet. The bottom part of the sheet are ordering fractions. We're not doing that yet. Okay? So this is comparing fractions. This is the task that we're going to do.
Together? Please.
No, you're not going to do it with a partner.
So by ourselves then?
Yep.
Can we use our notebooks?
Stop recording. Here we go. I'm trying.